Let's start with a simple truth. Words are far more powerful than most people realize. They can build or destroy, lift or limit, inspire or confine. Words shape your thoughts. Thoughts shape your actions. Actions shape your results. And your results, they shape your life. Life doesn't just happen to you, it responds to you. And the way it responds is intimately connected to the words you speak each day. Some people construct empires with their words. Others demolish bridges, crush dreams, and even dismantle themselves. Phrases like, "I'll never make it, I'm not good enough," or "Why even try?" aren't just words, they're declarations of a future you haven't yet created. Here's the key. Whatever you talk about grows. Fear? It grows. Doubt? It grows. Possibilities? They grow too, if that's what you feed. So what are you saying when no one is listening? What does the inner dialogue sound like? Because that conversation is where you live. If your inner language is full of fear, shame, or defeat, you won't rise. You won't believe. You won't build. You'll merely survive. But we weren't born to survive, we were born to thrive, and thriving begins with mastering the art of speaking life. I'm not talking about lying to yourself or pretending problems don't exist. This is about speaking the truth of who you can become. Speak to potential, not problems. Speak to the future, not fear. Say I will, not if I can. Say I must, not I hope. Words like these transform your inner world first, and then your outer world follows. I once met a young man after a seminar. He said, "I'm stuck. I feel tired. I don't know if I'll ever make it." I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "Never say that again, not even joking." He was surprised, but I had to tell him, every word you speak is a command to your future. Speak defeat, and your future obeys. Speak hope, and your future listens. He took it seriously. He changed his vocabulary, and years later he had built a business, supported his family, and returned to thank me. All because he changed his words. What about you? Do you call yourself lazy or incapable? Do you claim, "I've always been this way"? Those aren't just words, they're life sentences. You're not lazy, you just haven't found your fire. You're not a failure, you're still learning. Change the labels, and you change your level. Here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your life in a single day. Start with your words every morning. Declare who you are becoming. I'm focused, I'm disciplined, I follow through, I am a person of excellence. It doesn't have to be loud, just daily. Whispered words with belief carry more power than shouted words with doubt. The next time you look in the mirror, don't just see your reflection. Speak to your direction. Tell yourself where you're going, not where you've been. Tell yourself what you're becoming, not what you fear. To change your world, you must start with your words. Success isn't chased, it's attracted. An attraction starts with who you become. And who you become starts with what you say. Words do more than describe reality, they create it. Speak strength, and strength will follow. There's a language that builds weakness, and a language that builds power. Listen closely. Those who speak fear, limitation, or hesitation become exactly that. But you have the choice to speak life, to encourage, to lift. Consider these two phrases, I can and I can't. Most I can'ts aren't truths, they're habits. Easier to say than try, easier to say than learn, easier to say than fail and try again. But each I can't pulls you away from possibility. Habits can be replaced. Start saying I can. Even if it feels unnatural, even if it feels like a stretch, say it anyway. Say it until you believe it. Say it until your actions follow your words. Have you ever built a success vocabulary? Words that remind you of your potential, redirect your mind when doubt sneaks in, and steady you when life shakes. Here's a start. I am capable. I am committed. I grow from every challenge. I show up. I finish what I start. I'm learning. I'm getting stronger. I belong in rooms of growth. These aren't mere phrases. They are identity statements. Speak them enough and you begin to live them. Words are seeds. Spoken with intent, they grow into habits. Habits become destiny. Your vocabulary doesn't just describe who you are, it decides who you will become. Clean up your words like you clean up your appearance. Speak strength, not excuses. I knew two young men starting businesses. One said, "It's too hard, no one wants this, I can't." The other said, "It's tough, but I'm tougher. I'll adapt. I'm made for this." Guess who succeeded? Words built the path before any action did. Here's a practical ritual. Every morning before the world makes noise, speak 3 words of strength to yourself. Declare them with intention. I lead, I persist, I create. Or I grow, I serve, I succeed. Make them personal, make them consistent. Do this for 30 days and you'll notice it. You'll walk differently, talk differently, and face challenges differently. Your words shape your presence. Speak life, not because life is easy, but because speaking life makes it worth living. Want confidence? Speak like someone becoming confident. Want respect? Speak like someone who respects themselves. Want to win? Speak like a winner, even when it feels like defeat. The world responds not just to effort, it responds to expectation, and your expectations are hidden in your language. Speak what you seek until you see it. Then keep speaking, because strength isn't found, it's built. Word by word. Next, we'll explore belief. Why the words you choose don't just influence your mindset, they shape your conviction. How to sell yourself on your dreams, why repetition creates belief, and how to replace limiting language with powerful conviction. You must believe in possibility. You must believe in your future. You must believe in yourself. You cannot sell the world on a dream you haven't first sold to yourself. Life doesn't give us what we want, it gives us what we truly believe. And real belief doesn't begin in a book, it begins in your words. Belief doesn't begin in a seminar, it doesn't begin in your circumstances. It begins in your language, the words you use with yourself, the story you tell about your life, the boundaries you place on what's possible. That's where belief starts. Let's talk about something everyone feels but rarely notices, your inner conversation. It's always running, quietly commenting, guiding you forward or pulling you back. Most people ignore it, yet it shapes every decision. You might say things like, "I'm not ready. I've never done this before. I probably don't have what it takes." Here's the truth. You cannot win publicly if you lose privately. Change your inner conversation first, and that change starts with words. Belief is not magic, it's repetition. Confidence isn't something you wake up with one morning. It's built one word at a time, one thought at a time. You speak belief before you feel it. You declare conviction before you act it out. Affirmations without discipline are delusions. Repetition is the secret. Say it long enough and your subconscious begins to accept it, to act on it, to build reality around it. Belief grows in countless quiet moments, in the decision to keep speaking truth even when it feels unfamiliar. Want to change your life? Change how you describe it. Don't say, "I'm just trying to get by." Say, "I'm preparing to thrive." Don't say, "I've always been this way." Say, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm becoming." Language frames belief. Belief drives action, and action changes everything. Here's the pattern. Words, behavior, results, reinforcement, belief. Negative words shrink belief. Hesitation follows. Action stalls, results falter, and weak beliefs are reinforced. That's the downward spiral. Flip it. Speak words of power. "I can learn this. I'm resourceful. I always find a way." Instantly, belief rises, action grows bolder, results improve, and belief strengthens further. The upward spiral begins with one word. I once worked with a young man, sharp and ambitious, yet paralyzed by doubt. He had the skills, the drive, but not the belief. "I'm average. I don't have the background. People like me don't make it." I asked, "What if none of that is true? What if the only thing holding you back is the story you tell yourself?" A week later, he returned with a new script. "I'm still learning, but I've got what it takes. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my way. I may not come from privilege, but I'm building a powerful future." That shift in self-talk changed everything. How he acted, pitched, and led. Before you pitch the world, pitch yourself. Before asking others to believe, show yourself belief. Look in the mirror, speak strength, speak vision, speak future. Don't wait to feel worthy, talk yourself into it. Don't wait for applause, talk yourself into action. You must become your own biggest believer first. The language of belief is where it starts. Fear says, "You're not enough." You respond, "I'm growing into greatness." Doubt whispers, "You've failed before." You declare, "Failure taught me. I'm stronger because of it." The past shouts, "You've always been stuck." You answer, "I'm moving now, and I won't stop." Belief is built not by denying the past, but by rewriting your response to it. The world mirrors your inner state. Walk in unsure, and they feel it. Speak doubt, and it echoes. Walk in with belief, real belief, and the world begins to believe with you. Speak like someone who knows their direction. Speak like someone unstoppable. Speak like someone already walking toward their future. Convince yourself first, then convincing the world becomes easy. Next, we'll explore the transformation power of reframing. How to take pain, past mistakes, struggles, and give them new meaning through language. How champions speak about challenges, the difference between reaction and reframing, and how to turn setbacks into fuel by changing your story. One of the greatest gifts you can give is encouragement. Words that lift, words that build, words that say, you matter. What you say when no one is watching matters most. At home, at work, in private, in passing, words are seeds. They either grow or wither. Your words shape your world and the worlds of others. Think back. Someone said just the right thing. A parent, teacher, coach, or friend. I believe in you. You can do this. You're not what happened to you. Felt like fuel, like wind in your sails. That's the power of one word. There are two types of people, those who walk in and say, there you are, and those who walk in and say, here I am. One uplifts, one demands attention, one gives, one takes. The difference isn't talent or education, it's vocabulary. Words inspire or destroy. Choose wisely. You don't need a grand speech to change lives. Sometimes it's in small moments. A child spills something. You teach, you don't yell. A friend errs, you coach, you don't criticize. A partner struggles, you build, you don't blame. Life is shaped by daily choices to speak life or stay silent. What makes a great leader? The ability to speak what others need to hear when they need it. Encouragement is oxygen. Someone is about to quit. You say, I see you. I see your effort. Don't give up. Leadership. Someone is growing slowly. You say, I notice how far you've come. Leadership. Not position, not title, language. Correction has its time. Challenge has its place. But correct without crushing. Challenge without condemning. Speak truth with grace. Words can lift or destroy. Wisdom is knowing the difference. You can enter a discouraged team, a divided home, or a heavy environment, and by speaking hope, pointing to the future, calling out the good, you shift the atmosphere. Speak love and tension eases. Speak vision and clarity emerges. Speak courage and fear quiets. This is mastery of language. Encouragement isn't one time, it's habit. Daily choice. Say thank you more. Say I'm proud of you before they ask. Say you've got this when doubt looms. If you think something good about someone, speak it. Don't assume they know. You never know how badly someone needed to hear exactly that. Speak to where they're going, not where they argue. That's mentorship. That's leadership. That's friendship. They say, you're more than this moment. I see the leader in you. There's greatness in you waiting to emerge. When you speak to someone's potential instead of their problems, you awaken something inside them. That's real power. So today, let me challenge you. Be the voice of change in someone's world. Be the one who sees the gold beneath the dirt, calls it out boldly, and watches them rise. You don't need a microphone. You don't need a stage. You need intention and the right words. Speak life, because someone's breakthrough might be on the other side of your sentence. Now let's bring it all together, from words to action. You've learned how to change yourself, transform relationships, and rewire belief through language. Now it's time to turn your vocabulary into velocity. Speak in a way that propels you forward every day, moving steadily into the life you were meant to live. The words you speak today echo for eternity. Speak with purpose. Speak with care. Speak to leave behind something that matters. Ask yourself, what will people remember you for? Your wealth? Your achievements? Your titles? Maybe. But here's what people truly remember. Your words. They remember how you made them feel. They remember what you said when they were down, when they had no strength left to stand. Words are not just tools. They are seeds of legacy. They outlive us. Every conversation, every sentence, writes the script of your life. Not just the story others tell about you, but the story you tell yourself. Words shape perception, and perception becomes reality. If you want to leave something meaningful behind, start by speaking meaningfully now. Don't wait until you're successful to speak like a leader. Don't wait for followers to speak like someone worth following. Start now. Speak with the weight of your future in mind. Remember, words echo. A compliment today becomes confidence tomorrow. A correction today becomes wisdom tomorrow. A story today becomes strategy for someone tomorrow. Words don't vanish. They multiply in the minds of others. When you speak wisdom, it doesn't just help one person. It spreads again and again. That's legacy. Too many people talk about what is. They complain, gossip, or dwell on problems. But legacy builders talk about what could be. They speak of vision. They speak of change. They speak of ideas, values, and truths that last. If you want to be remembered, don't merely describe reality. Shape it with your words. Speak where you want to go. Speak what matters. Speak as if you're building something that will outlive you. There's no greater legacy than helping someone believe in themselves. You don't need a statue. You don't need a book. But if your words lift someone from despair, if they become their foundation, you've already lived powerfully. Maybe you said you can do more. Don't give up now. I'm proud of who you're becoming. That costs nothing, but the memory of it lasts generations. Be intentional with your daily language. Legacy doesn't wait for someday. It happens today. In the hallway, the kitchen, the meeting, the phone call. It happens when you choose not to gossip, when you choose not to tear down. When you speak peace instead of panic, hope instead of hurt, vision instead of fear. Be the person whose words bring light when the room feels dark. That is legacy. Ask yourself, what do you stand for? What do you believe in? Let that be heard. If you believe in discipline, speak it. If you believe in kindness, model it through your words. If you believe in growth, share what you're learning. Don't keep your principles to yourself. Speak them, live them, and leave them behind as a compass for someone who needs guidance when you're gone. Now let's go even deeper. Your words are more than sounds. They are instructions. They are blueprints for your destiny. Every sentence you utter is either building the life you dream of or tearing it down brick by brick. It's time to treat your vocabulary with the reverence it deserves. Speak as if each word carries weight, because it does. Think about the mornings you wake up tired, unsure, or frustrated. That inner voice whispers doubt, dragging your confidence into the shadows. But you have a choice. Speak a word of power. Say, I am capable, I am unstoppable, I am worthy of success. Repeat it until it's no longer just words. They become your mindset, your armor, your compass. Every repetition strengthens belief, and belief transforms action. Actions, repeated daily, sculpt a reality that once only existed in imagination. And here's the thing, this isn't just about you. The language you choose shapes those around you. A word of encouragement can spark courage in someone who feels invisible. A sentence of hope can ignite a future for someone who has given up. Your words are contagious. When you decide to speak life consistently, you create an ecosystem of growth, confidence, and transformation. People begin to rise simply because you chose to speak as if they could. Don't underestimate the power of small, deliberate words. A single phrase like I believe in you can ripple across time and space, planting seeds that bloom years later. Leadership is not about titles, it's about vocabulary. Influence is born from intentional language. And legacy? Legacy lives in the echoes of your words long after you've gone. Now, let's talk about reframing. Every challenge, every setback, every failure can be recast through the lens of language. Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, this is an opportunity to grow. Instead of, I can't do this, say, I will learn how to master this. Instead of, I failed, say, failure taught me what I need to succeed. Reframing is the practice of turning obstacles into fuel. The right words reshape perception, perception shapes belief, and belief fuels unstoppable action. The most powerful people don't just survive storms, they transform them into wind that propels them forward. How? Through language. They speak in ways that command courage, clarity, and conviction. They remind themselves and others of the possibilities, not the limitations. They see gold in the dirt, potential in the struggle, opportunity in the challenge, and they speak it, out loud, boldly, relentlessly. Imagine walking through life with this approach. Every morning, before the world yells at you, you speak words of intention. You set the tone. You decide the atmosphere. You create the expectation for the day. You declare who you are becoming, what you will achieve, and the impact you will make. That is power. That is mastery. That is living deliberately, not reactively. And here's the secret. The more you practice this, the more automatic it becomes. Your mind starts to accept what your words declare. Your body begins to move in alignment with your declarations. Your life starts to reflect the vocabulary of strength, courage, and possibility that you speak daily. You're not waiting for motivation, you create it. You're not waiting for opportunity, you speak yourself into it. You're not waiting for validation. You become your own source of belief and power. So, speak to your future self today. Speak to the life you are building, the person you are becoming, the legacy you are leaving. Let your words carry the weight of vision, integrity, and courage. Speak with intentionality, with love, with clarity. Speak with the knowledge that every word matters, because it does. Every word plants a seed, and those seeds grow into the reality you experience tomorrow. And finally, let's make it personal. As you go through each day, each conversation, each moment of decision, ask yourself, am I speaking life or doubt? Am I uplifting or tearing down? Am I moving toward greatness or reinforcing limitation? The answer to these questions will determine the trajectory of your life, your relationships, and your influence in the world. You are not powerless. You are not a product of circumstance. You are the creator of your reality, and the tool is your words. So, from this moment on, speak deliberately. Speak with vision. Speak with courage. Speak as if your words can change the world, because they can. Speak to uplift, to inspire, to transform, to leave a mark that lasts. Speak to the possibilities in yourself and in others. Speak life. Speak legacy. Speak power. And watch as the world responds, one word at a time. Remember, greatness begins in the language you choose, the words you repeat, and the belief you cultivate. Speak well. Speak boldly. Speak always. Your life and the lives you touch depend on it. And now, if you want to continue building your strength, your belief, and your future, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Thryve. Stay inspired, keep speaking life, keep building your legacy.